Can a computer create real art? This is happening right now on our screens and in our galleries. We live in an age where machines can learn, write, and create images. This new technology is powerful and controversial. For centuries, art was a uniquely human endeavor. Now a new kind of artist has entered the scene. It has code, data, and processing power. This forces us to ask some very big questions. What is art, really? Does it need to come from a human mind to have value? The debate is heating up across the creative world. Some see AI as a fantastic new tool. Others worry that AI art devalues the skill and dedication of human artists. The rise of AI challenges the very foundations of our understanding of creativity. Today, we are putting this new technology to the ultimate test. The results might just surprise you. We're staging an epic battle: AI versus a human artist. The rules are simple, the same creative prompt for both. This allows us to directly compare their interpretations, processes, and final results. It's a controlled experiment to highlight the differences between these creators. We're investigating the nature of creativity itself. The AI relies on its database, generating options rapidly. The human artist draws upon memories, emotions, and their unique worldview. This showdown puts these approaches side by side. You, the viewer, will be the judge, deciding which piece resonates more. In one corner, our digital contender. We're using Aura, a state-of-the-art AI image generator trained on a colossal library of images and text. It understands complex prompts, mimics artistic styles, and produces stunningly detailed, high-resolution images. Aura isn't an artist. It's a powerful neural network with immense knowledge. In the other corner, Elena, a digital painter with over a decade of professional experience. She translates ideas onto the digital canvas, her art known for its emotional depth. Unlike Aura, Elena's creative process is fueled by life itself. Elena's greatest asset is a lifetime of lived experience. Elena represents the enduring power of the human touch. To understand AI art, we need to look at how it works. It's a complex process rooted in data and mathematics. At its core, an AI image generator is a neural network trained by showing it billions of images, each paired with a text description. It has digested a massive portion of humanity's visual culture, forming its vast digital memory. When we give the AI a prompt, it breaks it down into mathematical concepts and searches its database for related patterns. It then generates an image from pure digital noise, refining it to match the prompt using a process called diffusion. The AI is generating something entirely new, applying learned rules to create novel combinations. This generative ability is what makes AI a creator. One of the most defining characteristics of AI art is its incredible speed. For a human artist, creating a detailed digital painting is a significant investment of time. It could take hours or even days of focused work. The AI operates on a completely different timescale. The process of creation is nearly instantaneous. Within seconds, the machine can generate multiple high-quality interpretations of the idea. This speed is revolutionary. This instant gratification changes the relationship between the creator and their art. It shifts the creative act from physical skill to conceptual direction. However, this speed also raises important questions about the value we place on effort. AI art challenges this notion by suggesting that the final image is what matters most. When you look at enough AI-generated art, you begin to notice a kind of signature style that belongs not to a person, but to the machine itself. The images are often technically flawless, the lighting can be perfect, the textures impossibly detailed, and the compositions mathematically balanced. This perfection, however, can sometimes feel sterile or uncanny. Human art is often defined by its imperfections. AI art, by contrast, can lack this soul. Furthermore, AI has a tendency to produce art that is surreal and dreamlike. This AI surrealism has become a distinct aesthetic. This is not a flaw, but rather a unique creative voice emerging from the algorithm itself. This unique style is constantly evolving. For many artists, AI is a powerful new tool, much like the camera or Photoshop. They see it as a collaborator that can enhance creativity, handling tedious tasks, and freeing artists to focus on storytelling. In this view, AI is a paintbrush, not the painter. This tool could democratize art creation, allowing those with ideas but without training to bring their visions to life. However, this promise is shadowed by peril. particularly for professional artists facing economic threats. Beyond economics, there are ethical questions about copyright and the unregulated nature of this powerful new technology. Now let's turn our attention to the human artist, Elena. It begins with a spark. Sometimes it might come from the way sunlight filters through the leaves on a morning walk, or the powerful feeling stirred by a piece of music. It is born from the chaotic, beautiful mess of lived experience. Unlike an AI, which draws from a database of existing images, a human artist draws from a well of personal history. This initial stage of inspiration is one of exploration and daydreaming. Ultimately, the source of human inspiration is what makes each artist's voice unique. Their art is a fingerprint of their soul, a one-of-a-kind perspective shaped by their individual journey. Once an idea takes hold, the human artist begins creation. This is where the imperfect hand comes into play. The artist's hand is not a perfect machine. These imperfections give the artwork its life, character, and humanity. A painter's brushstroke carries a unique energy and texture. This process is filled with happy accidents. A human artist learns to embrace them, turning mistakes into moments of discovery. Every single mark an artist makes is a choice guided by feeling. This embrace of imperfection is a celebration of what it means to be human. These flaws are not bugs, they are features, the signature of the human hand. Every artwork is a time capsule, containing the artist's emotions and memories. The artwork becomes a direct channel for their emotional state. This emotional transference is what makes art so powerful. An AI can replicate visual cues associated with emotions, but it doesn't feel them. The human artist feels these emotions genuinely, creating a deeper connection with the viewer. Memory plays a vital role. An artist's mind is a rich tapestry of stored experiences. These memories inevitably weave their way into the art, adding depth and specificity to the work. We sense the presence of another human mind behind the work. This is the soul of the artwork that separates human creation from machine generation. It's a story an algorithm can never truly write. In our fast-paced world, we often value speed. The human process, by contrast, is a slow dance. This slowness is not a flaw. It is a feature of immense value. The effort involved in human creation is a critical part of its meaning for the artist and the viewer. When we look at a detailed painting, our appreciation is often magnified by our understanding of the skill and effort it took to create. It becomes a companion. This deep, personal connection is often palpable in the finished work. The slow, deliberate, and effort-filled process of human art offers a different kind of value. It is a testament to the power of human focus and dedication. The stage is set, and our two competitors are ready. It is time to reveal the challenge that will test the creative limits of both machine and human. The official prompt for this creative showdown is a forgotten knight standing guard over a luminous crystalline forest at twilight. This phrase was chosen for its blend of contrasting ideas. We have the figure of the knight, which suggests themes of duty, history, and perhaps loneliness. This is juxtaposed with the luminous crystalline forest, a concept that evokes magic and beauty. The addition of at twilight introduces a specific mood. It is a prompt rich with potential for storytelling. We anticipate that our two competitors will approach this prompt from entirely different perspectives. For our human artist, Elena, the prompt will trigger a completely different internal process. Her interpretation will not be a literal combination of terms, but a holistic emotional response. With the prompt locked in, we turn first to our digital challenger, Aura. We input the phrase, a forgotten knight, standing guard over a luminous crystalline forest at twilight, into its interface. There is no sketching, no deliberation, just the quiet hum of processing. For a few moments, the screen displays a swirling field of digital noise, a chaotic canvas of random pixels. Then, the magic of diffusion begins. As if guided by an unseen hand, shapes begin to emerge from the chaos. The process is mesmerizing to watch. It is like seeing a photograph develop right before your eyes, but one that has never been taken. In less than 60 seconds, Aura presents us with 4 distinct, fully rendered interpretations of the prompt. Each one is a complete artwork, rich in detail and atmosphere. The speed is almost difficult to comprehend. The machine has bypassed the hours of labor and creative struggle that would be required for a human and has gone straight to the final product. The first image it produces is a breathtaking landscape. A towering knight in ornate, glowing armor stands on a cliff, overlooking a vast forest of impossibly intricate, light-emitting crystals. The sky is a perfect gradient of twilight purples and oranges, reflecting off the knight's polished metal. We examine the other options. One is a close-up, focusing on the knight's helmet, which is overgrown with small, glowing crystalline vines, his visor reflecting the magical forest. Another takes a more abstract approach, with the knight's form almost dissolving into the shimmering light of the woods. The fourth option is darker, more melancholic, with the knight slumped slightly, his posture suggesting the weight of centuries of lonely vigil. Aura has not just created an image, it has offered a range of moods and compositions, allowing us to act as a creative director, selecting the vision that resonates most powerfully. For the purpose of this challenge, we select the first image, the one with the grand sweeping vista. It is technically magnificent. The textures are hyper-realistic. You can almost feel the cold metal of the armor and the smooth, hard surface of the crystals. The lighting is complex and dramatic, with every crystal casting its own source of light, creating a dazzling interplay of shadows and highlights. The composition is balanced and epic in scale. It is a perfect cinematic realization of the prompt. Aura's work is complete. It has delivered a masterpiece of technical execution in the time it takes to read a paragraph. Now we present the same prompt to Elena. Her reaction is worlds apart from the AI's instant processing. She reads the words, "A forgotten knight standing guard over a luminous crystalline forest at twilight," and then pauses. Instead, she leans back, closes her eyes for a moment, and lets those words really sink in. For her, this is the most crucial part of the process, that period of quiet contemplation where the seeds of the idea just start to sprout. Instead, she searches for inspiration and creates a quick, private mood board, gathering images that capture the feeling she's aiming for. Next, she picks up a simple pencil and a sketchbook and starts creating a series of small, rough thumbnail sketches. After exploring several possibilities, she settles on a composition that feels right. Her process has been slow, deliberate, and deeply thoughtful. With their initial visions established, the creative paths of Aura and Elena diverge completely. Aura's journey was a short, explosive sprint of computation, ending almost as soon as it began. Its final image was generated in a single, holistic process, with every element, lighting, texture, composition, being calculated and rendered simultaneously. There was no step-by-step construction in the human sense. The image simply coalesced out of digital noise, fully formed like a phantom appearing in a photograph. The AI's process is one of instantaneous, parallel creation, a testament to the immense processing power of its neural network. Elena's journey, in contrast, is a marathon of methodical construction, built layer by layer. She moves from her paper sketch to her digital canvas, starting with a clean, blank slate. Her first step is to create a more refined drawing, establishing the core shapes and perspective of her chosen composition. This is the skeleton of her artwork. Next, she begins blocking in the basic colors, laying down large, flat areas of dark blue for the twilight sky, deep greens for the forest, and a muted gray for the knight's armor. At this stage, the image is simple and abstract, a mere shadow of what it will become. The next phase is where her artistry truly begins to shine. Elena starts to build up the light and shadow, giving form and volume to the flat shapes. She thinks about the two light sources, the fading twilight from the sky and the magical glow from the crystalline trees. She carefully paints how this light would catch on the edges of the knight's armor and how it would filter through the strange, translucent leaves of the forest. This is a slow, painstaking process. Each brushstroke is a deliberate choice, guided by her understanding of light and her desire to create a specific, melancholic mood that tells a story. Finally, she moves on to the details. She spends hours rendering the intricate filigree on the knight's armor, making it look aged and weathered. She adds the texture of moss and tiny cracks to show the passage of time. She gives the crystalline trees a unique, fractured internal glow, making them feel both beautiful and alien. Unlike Aura, which generated every detail at once, Elena builds her world piece by piece. Her process is sequential, layered, and deeply personal, It's a slow dance of adding, refining, and adjusting, with every step bringing her closer to the vision that first sparked in her mind. After many hours of focused work, Elena's artwork is finally complete. We now have two finished pieces, both born from the exact same 9-word prompt. A forgotten knight, standing guard over a luminous, crystalline forest at twilight. Yet looking at them, it's clear that they come from two entirely different worlds of creation. One was born in a flash of algorithmic probability, a product of data and processing power. The other was slowly coaxed into existence through human contemplation, emotion, and the patient labor of a skilled hand. The same concept has been filtered through two vastly different forms of intelligence. Aura's interpretation is a spectacle of technical perfection. It's a grand cinematic scene that perfectly captures the epic fantasy elements of the prompt. The image is flawless, with hyper-realistic textures and a complex lighting model that would be incredibly challenging for a human to replicate. It's an image designed for maximum visual impact, a stunning demonstration of what a machine can do when asked to create something beautiful and complex. Its strengths are its clarity, its detail, and its immediate, breathtaking wow factor. It is the perfect execution of a high-concept fantasy poster, delivered in seconds. Elena's piece, on the other hand, is a study in mood and storytelling. Her composition is quieter, more intimate. We are closer to the knight, and we can feel his solitude. His posture is not one of heroic defiance, but of weary resignation. The forest behind him is beautiful, yet it also feels subtly oppressive, its light offering no warmth. The imperfections, the visible texture of her digital brushstrokes, the slight asymmetry in the armor's design, give the piece a sense of history and humanity. Its strength lies not in its technical perfection, but in its emotional resonance. It's not just a picture of a knight, it's a portrait of loneliness. So here we stand at the end of the creative process, with two powerful but fundamentally different artworks. Aura has given us a perfect answer, a literal and spectacular translation of the words into a picture. Elena has given us a personal interpretation, a story filled with unspoken questions and quiet feeling. The AI's work impresses the eye, while the artist's work speaks to the heart. Both have succeeded in fulfilling the prompt, but they have done so by traveling through parallel universes of creation. Now, the ultimate question remains, which one is more successful as a work of art? Let's compare the final images, starting with technical skill. Aura's work is a marvel of digital rendering, flawless lighting, hyper-detailed textures, and cinematic composition. The AI's image is polished to perfection, a showcase of technical mastery that would take a human weeks to replicate. Every element is meticulously rendered, from the knight's armor to the crystalline trees. In contrast, Elena's technique is visibly human. Painterly brushstrokes, interpretive lighting, and intentional imperfections. Her choices create mood and guide the viewer's eye, prioritizing expression over flawless simulation. The worn armor and organic textures tell a story, making her technique a narrative tool. Aura's image impresses with precision, Elena's with personality. One is a masterclass in rendering, the other in storytelling through technique. Both display mastery, but in fundamentally different ways. What makes art original? Novelty or personal perspective? Aura's image is technically new, a unique blend of learned patterns, but its elements feel familiar, almost generic. It's a remix of fantasy tropes, expertly combined but lacking a singular voice. Elena's work, though based on a classic subject, feels deeply personal. Her originality comes from her choices, the knight's posture, the mood, the focus on wariness. She isn't averaging what she's seen. She's expressing her own vision. True originality here is not invention, but authenticity. Aura's piece is a clever synthesis. Elena's is a personal statement. One is a new arrangement, the other a unique perspective. That's the difference between remix and true voice. Which image moves you? Aura's piece dazzles with spectacle, epic scale, vibrant color, heroic subject. It's impressive, but the emotion is surface level, like a blockbuster's special effects. The knight is an archetype, not a character. The image is awe-inspiring but emotionally distant. Elena's painting draws you in with intimacy. Her knight is weary, his solitude palpable, the forest both beautiful and confining. The emotion is empathy, not awe. We connect with the character, wonder about his story, and feel his burden. Elena's human touch lingers, inviting contemplation. The AI image impresses, the human image connects. In the end, it's empathy that endures. Every great artwork carries intent and story. Aura's image fulfills a prompt, no deeper purpose, just a statistical answer to a request. The story is projected by the viewer, not embedded by the creator. The scene is literal, complete, but lacks layers of meaning. Elena's piece is built on intent. Every detail, the aged armor, the menacing beauty of the forest, serves her narrative. She invites questions. Who is this knight? What is his burden? Her art is a doorway, sparking imagination and curiosity. The difference is clear. AI executes, the artist invites us into a world. That's the power of human intent. Our challenge reveals two philosophies of creation. Aura embodies technical perfection and instant execution, a spectacular, literal answer to a prompt. Its art is about speed, efficiency, and visual impact. Elena's approach is slow, introspective, and personal. She transforms the prompt into a story, focusing on emotion and connection. Her art values the journey, imperfection, and unique perspective. Aura's work is about answers. Elena's is about questions. The AI impresses the eye, the artist stirs the soul. Both approaches have power, but their goals and their impact are fundamentally different. Art is not just what you see, but what you feel and ponder. The future of art isn't AI versus artist, it's collaboration. AI's speed and technical skill can complement human emotion and storytelling. Imagine artists using AI as a creative partner, brainstorming, generating backgrounds, freeing time for deeper expression. The AI becomes a tool, not a replacement. This partnership could unlock new forms of creativity and interactive art. Artists can focus on narrative and emotion, while AI handles technical complexity. The artist's role shifts from execution to direction and vision. Of course, ethical challenges remain. Copyright, privacy, and fair compensation must be addressed. If balanced well, this synergy could spark a new artistic renaissance. The future belongs to the union of machine logic and human soul. So after this epic challenge, who painted it better? Aura, with its flawless technical execution and breathtaking spectacle? Or Elena, with her emotionally resonant storytelling and deeply human touch? The truth is, there is no single, objective answer. The better artwork depends entirely on what you, the viewer, value most. The conclusion of this debate is not a definitive ruling from us, but an open invitation for you to decide for yourself. Your personal answer reveals what you believe the ultimate purpose of art to be in the first place. If you believe art is primarily about aesthetic beauty, technical skill, and visual impact, then you might lean towards Team AI. Aura's creation is undeniably impressive. It is a perfect, polished product that fulfills the prompt with incredible precision and flair. It is a feast for the eyes, a demonstration of what is possible when creative constraints like time and labor are removed. If the final image is all that matters, then the AI has made a powerful case for itself as a formidable creator of beautiful and complex worlds, all generated in the blink of an eye. However, if you believe art is about connection, emotion, and the communication of a unique human experience, then you will likely find yourself on Team Artist. Elena's piece offers something the AI cannot, a soul. Her artwork is a conversation, a piece of her own perspective shared with the world. It uses imperfection and subtlety to create a feeling of empathy that lingers. If you value the story behind the image, the intention of the creator, and the feeling an artwork leaves in your heart, then the human artist's work holds a power that technology alone cannot replicate. Ultimately, this challenge was never about crowning a single winner. It was about exploring the fascinating and complex relationship between human creativity and artificial intelligence. It highlights a fundamental question for our time. What do we want from art? Do we want perfect answers, or do we want personal questions? Do we seek spectacle, or do we seek soul? As these tools become more integrated into our lives, the choice will increasingly be ours. The debate is far from over. In fact, it has only just begun. Now it is your turn to be the judge.